Hey, so this will be the second video on the four rules. This has done adding and subtracting. So let's now try some multiply and dividing. I'll just scroll down a little bit. So when we multiply, let's have a look. Let's do a nice easy one. Okay, let's start off with something along the lines of 3 times 6. Okay. Now we should know our times tables, know 3 times 6 is 18. But again, try and visualize it. 3 times 6, what does that mean? Well, 3 sixes, 3 sets of 6. It's a bit like 6 plus 6 plus 6. You could say it's like that, isn't it? Because 3 times 6 is 3 sixes. Or you could visualize it. You could say, okay, well, 6, I'm going to do 6 little dots. This is where I wish I'd chosen a slightly smaller number. Okay. 6 little dots. And I have 3 sets of those 6 little dots. There's 1 set, there's 2 sets, and there's 3 sets. And you just count the dots to say, right, I've got 18. There's different ways to think about multiplying. Your times table, you could think on it as just adding over and over again, repeated addition. So 3 times 6 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Or you could draw your dots. I could do it. I could say 4 times 5. I should know that's 20. I could also say that's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And then you can be adding up on your number line. You know, 5 plus 5 is 10, 15, 20. So just keep adding and adding and adding. Or again, you could draw your dots out. You could say, right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 4 sets of them. So let's do another. There's 2 sets. There's 3 sets. And there's 4 sets. And if I add all that together, I get 20. There's different ways of thinking about it. What we try and do though is when we've got bigger sums, so say I've got something like 346, and I'm going to times that by 2, we lay it out again in our chimney sum. So we make sure that everything is in a row. Well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, much this time, but make sure it's nice and neat and we've got some space because we might have to carry over. Again, let's think about what this means. 346 times 2. So I have got 300, I have got a 40, and I've got a 6. And I'm going to times each of these numbers by 2. That's what I'm going to do when I do my chimney sum, because I'm going to do 2 times 6, and then 2 times 4, and then 2 times 3. So 2 times 6 is going to give me 12. Again, I can't write my 12 in here, like I said. I need to carry the 1. So 2 would go down here. I'll carry the 1, which I'll put in green just to remind. Then I do 2 times 4, which is 8. Add the 1. Give me 9. So I've done 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1. Don't add this and then multiply. We add at the end. And 2 times 3, which is 6. That's me finished. Now that's the exact same as this. 6 times 2 is 12. We got 12, didn't we? Now 40 times 2 is 80. We did 2 times 4 because that's easier. We know that's a 10. We don't really have to write the 0. We say 2 times 4 is 80, add the 1. And 2 times 3 we know is 6. Well, 2 times 300 is 600. But why would we bother writing all those zeros? That's why we do the chimney sum. It helps us avoid writing the zero. But some people prefer to do it this way. Okay, right, sorry, that should be over there. Some people prefer to do it this way. 80, and that'd be my 12. Then all you have to do is add them all up, plus, 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 for the same answer. Now, if you don't like this method just now, that's fine. You might grow into it as you get better at multiplying. This is probably easier to do. However, this helps visualize, helps demonstrate what you're actually doing here. You're taking your 300s and timesing it by 2. You're taking your 40 and timesing it by 2. You're taking your 6 and timesing it by 2. So this is a nice, neat way of doing this. Let's try, we'll try another one. So I'll put down 1 and I'll let you see if you do it. We'll do slightly bigger numbers this time. We'll do 7, 5, 4, and we'll times that by 6. So I'll give you a little minute to try that, then we'll do it together, okay? So try this, pause the video, try that. Okay, so again, this is what the sum's actually saying. I'm just going to quickly do this bit. I've got 24. Six 50s, that's 6 sets of 50. That'll give me 300. I could also have said 6 times 5 is 30. Add on my 0, we'll come back to that. And then 7 sixes are 42. I'll add on my 2 zeros. And then add all up. 4, 2, 5, 4. Okay, so that's the way I would really think about doing it possibly. Well, let's go through the chimney sum then. Like we said, 6 fours are 24. I can't put my 24 in like that. I can only put in one number. I'll put my 4 in, and I will carry the 2, 24. 6 fives are 30. Add the 2 for 32. 6 sevens are 42, plus the 5 for 45. And that's a nice little check as well. So for this, you really want to be good at your times tables. If you're struggling with your times tables, you need to on the side maybe do a separate sum. Okay, so 6 times 4, if you're not sure, don't forget that 6 times 4 is just the same as 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. And then you're adding. Okay? 6 times 5, that's the same as, well, I've got 6 sets of 5. I've got 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And you can just add them as you go. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6, 12, 18, 24. There's lots of different ways to do this, and you can break it up on the side. Okay? But if you know your times tables, that would really, really help. The very last one I want to go through for a for a multiplying is when we multiply by really big numbers. So let's say I've got something like 400, let's just say 40 actually, and I want to times that by 10. We're getting into multiplying by 10, 100,000. The easy way to think on this is to do 4 times 1, which is 4, and then add on the 2 zeros at the end. There's a better way of doing it when we'll come to that when we do decimals, but this is just a little shortcut way that works just now. Okay, so say 50 times 100. I'd say, okay, well, 5 times 1 is 5. And how many zeros have I got? I've got 3 zeros. I always put a comma after our third one. What if I've got 120 and I want to times that by 1,000? Okay, well, I've got 12 times the 1. That's going to give me 12. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. My comma is now in the wrong place. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 2. If I want to do 240 times, put a comma in there, times 100, I'll say I've got 24 times the 1, 24, and I've got 3 zeros, 1, 2 zeros. So when you multiply by 10, 100, 1,000, multiply your first two numbers, which really means just write your first number, doesn't it? If you look at the pattern there, 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 1 is 5. You're just writing your first number and then adding all the zeros on. Again, there's a better way to do that, which we'll learn, but this is just to get us started. What if it was 40 times by 20? Well, just do 4 times 2 is 8, and then add on the 2 zeros. What if it was 50 times 200? So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to put 2 instead of, I would do 5 times 2 is 10, and add on the 3 zeros. 5 times 2 and the 3 zeros. What if we do 120 times 4,000? I need to do 12 times 4. So I could do a chimney sum for 12 times 4. I could go down here and say, right, 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. I could have said 4 tens are 40 and 4 twos are 8. That gives me 48. And then how many zeros have I got? Got 1, 2, 4. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end. That's a good idea. I should have done that with a colour pen before. Oh. And let's try it on 240 times, let's say 500. So 24 times 5. 5 fours are 20, carry the 2. 5 twos are 10 plus 2, so that's 120. So if I multiply these two together, I'm going to get 120. How many zeros have I got? 1, 2, 3. Add in your 3 zeros. So it looks like a hard sum, but it's not. We multiply the first two numbers, and then we're adding on our zeros at the end. If you need to do a little chimney sum on the side, that's absolutely fine. Okay? So that is a little quick trip through multiplying. Hope that was helpful.